lot of things.
Hmm?
A lot of things.
A lot of?
Things! Oh my god.
Is it?
We are doing the video or not?
Yeah, I'm recording.
Huh?
I'm recording right now.
No, you're not. You're not. You're not. You're not.
You want to be in?
No, they don't want to be in. This video will be for you if you want to use it again, and if you want to go back for the information. Yeah, this will help you a lot. Do you take the chair here? With Mr. With Mr. Ah.
I don't know.
Oh, like every day?
I'll teach them.
Pencil.
Yeah, pencil. That's why I hate pencil. I lost my.
Right.
I hate marker. I hate.
You hate pens, you hate pencils.
Yeah. I love that keyboard.
What is it?
I love that other one. Like it has its key.
Good. That's very good. Where is Ragad?
She thought we're going to miss from 3 o'clock.
How she thought?
Because before yesterday, we told us we're going to commence from 3 and a half. And yesterday, she didn't know. But I've told her now.
Today's workshop will be a little bit nice. It will start from now until 6 o'clock. Why? Huh? No, you will have break. You will have lunch break. Do you want a lunch break? Nice. Let's start. Okay, hello everyone. Good afternoon. How are you? Huh? Good, huh? Nice. Nice. And you? Okay, now I want you to get ready. Do you have paper, notebooks, anything to write on? Good. You will write a lot of notes. Okay, so keep them close to you. So today we are welcoming you to the teaching 101. What is the meaning of teaching 101?
First.
Huh?
The first.
Yeah. 101 means the first. The first thing. So today we will know more about what is going on from the teacher's side, from the teacher's perspective, how the teacher sees the lesson and how the teacher processes the lesson, and how the teacher structures, plans, and makes everything that at the end and eventually it comes up to the final result that we see in the classroom. From exercises to activities to all the things that we see inside the classroom. Now we will learn what are the teachers doing behind the scenes and how do they plan everything and how do they do everything. Because for sure, it's not random at all. Because you cannot just send up randomly and start talking to the students and you will deliver the same exact results that the professional teachers deliver, right? So today we're talking about how to move from liking being a teacher to actually being a professional teacher that actually knows everything. You know what you're doing. You know everything. You are preparing really well. You are planning everything. You are a real professional teacher. So first, let's talk about education from the first place. I mean, our job here is, we're educators. We are instructors. We show people how to do something. We teach people English. We teach people a language, how to communicate with others. Now we have the mainstream, let's say mainstream places or mainstream sources of learning. The mainstream sources of learning are schools, right? Schools are the mainstream, the regular, normal place for everyone to learn. But unfortunately, not only in Yemen, I'm talking about worldwide. Worldwide, schools are not that convincing. They're not that good. They're good to some degree, but they're not sufficient. They're not enough. That's why we have universities and that's why we have specially educational institutions. Because, just put it in your mind, if you learned English in a school, would you actually join an institute from the first place? The answer is obviously no, because you understood English in the school. But the problem now is a lot of students don't understand and don't know how to use English in the school, so they move, or after they finish high school, they move to institutes. Yeah, they move to institutes. Now, we are teachers of institutes. We are the alternative of schools. And because we are the alternative of schools, we don't want to be like schools. Because if we are like schools, we are doing the same thing that students did because of schools. Students left the school because they didn't have enough practice and knowledge about English. And they came to us. If they come to us and we deliver the same exact results or we teach in the same way as schools, we will end up to the same problem. Hi. Okay? We will end up to the same problem. Yeah, you can come here or there. It's okay. Okay? If we teach using the same way, using the same methods, using the same strategies, using the same way that teachers teach in schools, at the end, we will deliver the same results. This is the whole point. Students come to the institutes because schools didn't do enough job, didn't do enough results. Okay? So now, this is the starting point that we will teach in a way that is completely, or not completely, like mostly different from how schools teach and how do they approach languages and how do they approach even other subjects generally. But we're talking about languages specifically. So this is the starting point. A lot of students, especially in Access, this happens a lot. Students come from schools, especially if they have just graduated from high school, They come and they start from the very beginning. They say, yeah, let's start from the very beginning. I want to learn everything. I want to learn from the basics. I want to start a fresh start. And they go, they join Access. And then when they join Access, they go and they expect, they don't expect, they have been studying in schools in a specific way. So when they go to the institutes, they expect something similar. They expect to sit down, open a book, read, write, maybe read a little bit out loud and go home. That's it. When the teacher asks them to stand up, clap your hands, go out, take the cup, I don't know what, all these crazy activities, students, some of them and a lot of them a lot of students who come from school, they feel like, what is this? I don't want to be part in this. And every month, when we start a new term, and when we start new Access classes, a lot of students come to my office and they complain about the teachers every term. They say, you're the manager, right? I say, yeah, I'm the manager. They say, listen to me, with all my respect, we're not kids. We don't want to play. And I say, yeah, okay, yes, what else? They say, like, imagine the teacher is telling us to jump. This is disrespectful. I say, yes, this is really disrespectful. And what? And they keep talking to me about all the bad things that they think are bad. And then they tell me, yeah, what do you think? I tell them, I am the one who told them to do this. And they say, really? I say, yes, I am the one who told them to do this. And they say, why? And then I take them back to this one. I told them, if you want a school-like education, go to school. And you will get the results that you had. But if you want something different, you will do these different things that you think are silly, but they're not silly. These are things that we studied, learned, did a lot of research about, and guaranteed to make people speak in English, to speak in another language. And then I tell them again, do you know how I spoke English? This way. Do you know how all teachers around you speak English? This way. That you now feel a little bit awkward and strange and stupid doing it. But with time, you'll get used to it. So this is the reality that a lot of students need to face when they start studying. And now we as teachers, when we start teaching, we need to believe that. And we need to start this fresh start. Okay. So we have the traditional learning or traditional teaching that they do in schools. Students go to the class, students open their books, students write what they see on the board, students answer questions of the teacher. If students make mistakes, they get punished. That's what is going on in schools. But here we take another completely different approach. We're talking about the CLT. Now we started to know something that is a little bit unknown. Communicative language teaching, which is CLT, communicative language teaching. When you go to any institute that cares about education and cares about the outcomes and cares about the teachers and students, the first or one of the first questions that you'll get asked in an interview is, what do you know about the CLT? And they will wait really, really carefully and see what is your answer about this. They just ask you like a really simple question. What do you know about the CLT? And if you know, you will talk. If you don't know, you have two choices. If you don't know. Choice number one, which is the stupid choice, which I see a lot of teachers do when I make a lot of interviews. The first stupid option, which is they try to say that they know and they don't know. And they try to make something, which is really, really bad, because when somebody asks you about something and you don't know, you should say that you don't know. You shouldn't say that you know and you don't know, because they will ask you. And then you will be put in a very, very bad situation, beyond embarrassment. Option 2, to tell them, I don't know. But when you tell them, I don't know, there are also 2 options. To tell them, I don't know, and that's it, be silent. Number 2 is to tell them, I don't know, but I promise you that I can search about it today and learn about everything about it. They will feel a little bit better. When you get asked in an interview about anything that you don't know, you can simply admit, like, I don't know, but I promise you that anything that I learn, I never forget. I'll just search about it today, promise you, tomorrow I got it all. This actually gives us as managers the mindset of that is a good person. That person will improve himself or herself. Okay? So yeah, communicative language teaching, CLT. And by the way, in interviews, most of the times they just say, what do you know about the CLT? They don't even say the whole word. They say, what do you know about the CLT? And you need to figure it out. Communicative language teaching. And some people will clarify it and tell you what is the meaning of communicative language teaching. And then you start to speak about it. So yeah, now, what is CLT? What is communicative language teaching? What is this? What is it? Kauthar, can you please stand up? Come here, in a group. The 2 girls, please, excuse me, stand up and come here. We need 1 group here and 1 group here. Take that microphone. Can you bring me that case? Yes, thank you so much. Sit down. Mr. Tuji, can you go a little bit beside them because you will be 1 group with them? Okay. So now, from the words that you've seen, communicative, you know communicative, the adjective of communication. Language teaching. What is this? Just try for 30 seconds to discuss it with your friends. What is it going to be about? Communicative language teaching. What is it? Just try to think about it. And then we will tell you about the answer.
Of the teacher when he supports something or to something, he wants to be communicated.
I came to listen. What are your thoughts?
Maybe how to deal with your students. How to communicate.
Communicate, huh? Yeah. I like this. Good. Okay, I mean, I like how you thought about it, and I like how you try to interpret the meaning. So first, can you read? Can you see? Yeah, can you read?
The definition?
Yeah.
Okay, the definition is an approach that teach English by focusing on communication and real life use instead of just rules.
Yes. As you can see from the definition, it's completely the opposite of what's going on here. They said an approach. What does the meaning of approach? A way. Yes. A way of doing something that teaches English by focusing on communication and real life use instead of just rules. I mean, we all know what is present simple or what is past simple, especially from schools. I mean, we have really good teachers in schools that they show us how to understand, how to write some structures, some sentences, but how to use them, this is the thing that we're talking about. It's not only about rules, It's also about real life use. How to teach the students to communicate and use the language in real life. Okay, here we have the goal. Can you continue? Yeah, continue.
Okay, the goal develop fluency, accuracy, and through practice.
Yes, what is the goal of this approach? To develop fluency, number one, and then accuracy. How do we develop them? Through practice. Through practice. Yes. And students learn by doing, speaking, and interacting. Communicating with other students. So this is, what is the CLT about? At the end of the class, you can ask me to give you this PowerPoint presentation and I will send it to you, okay? Now we have something called the core principles of CLT. You know what I mean, principles, like rules, like principles, like the instructions or the structure of something. So what are the core principles of CLT? Number one, language is free communication, not memorization. When we give the students a lesson of grammar or a couple of vocabularies, we don't give them the vocabulary or grammar to memorize. We give them the grammar and vocabulary to use. And we show them how to use, not how to memorize. So this is the first one. This is the first rule of the CLT. The second one, which is focus on student-centered learning. What is this? You know what is the center? Yeah, exactly, the middle. Student center, that means the student is the middle focus of learning. It's not the teacher. For example, in schools, the teacher is talking all the time, the teacher is reading, the teacher is writing the examples, the teacher is doing everything. And students are just passive listeners. What does the meaning of passive listeners? They just listen. They're not active with the listen. They're just passive listeners and they just keep listening. Now, this is the opposite. In schools, they have teacher-centered learning. And here we try to promote and we try to showcase student-centered learning. So the student is the focus of the class, not the teacher. Okay? By the way, in this part of the workshop, you are learning all the concepts and ideas about how to teach. After that, you will see a real class, a real lesson, and how everything is applied. Okay? Like a real life example. And you will take papers and you will evaluate and take notes and everything. Okay? So number 3, what is the third principle? Use authentic materials, which is news, videos, podcasts, real conversations. What is this exactly? Which is when we teach, the materials that we give the students, the things that they learn are authentic. What does it mean authentic? Real. Something real. Something that they actually use worldwide, around the world. For example, we don't teach them words or grammar that nobody is using, because this is not authentic. Authentic means something real. Okay? Something that is real, so when we have something real, it's actually useful. So when we try to provide our students with materials, we try to provide them with the most authentic materials. Materials that we know for sure that Americans and people who actually speak this language use the materials that we're providing. I mean, you can see for example, this is already happening. If you see the interchange books, or if you see the passages, the last one raised the issue, also the weaving books, the Speak Now books. most of the vocabularies, these books are authentic. They try to provide you with the vocabulary and grammar that if you watch a movie or you watch a podcast in English or something or anything related to the language itself, you see these materials in real life. And this is what's happening. And then number 4, we have the core principle number 4, encourage group work, role plays, and problem solving. We have 3 things to work on and encourage students to do. What are they? Group work, role plays, and the third one? Problem solving. Why these 3? Because if you notice a little bit, group work encourages speaking, like you did a minute ago. You were speaking with each other. That was group work. Role play. Role plays is when the teacher is asking you to stand up and act. Like, imagine you are in a supermarket, you are the salesperson, and you are, for example, you are the cashier, and you are a just person who's buying something. And then stand up here and make a role play, like, and use the vocabulary that we studied. Or for example, imagine that you are walking on the street and you found $1 million. And then teachers encourage you to use the materials of the lesson through role plays. You try to imagine a situation and you try to speak about it with other classmates. The third one, which is problem solving, most of the times the sheets, the worksheets. Most of the times teachers don't give everyone a worksheet for every student. They give it in groups. Why? To encourage discussion and speaking among students. Okay? And number 5, balance, fluency, and accuracy. What is fluency? But exactly?
You cannot speak, how do I say it?
Yeah. You are on the right track.
Yes.
This is the second one.
Not the grammar, like
This is the second one. The accuracy.
Like while you are speaking, for example,
Yes. Yes. Fluency is the, we can say the pace, like the speed. The second one, accuracy, as Kauthar said, what is it? The grammar. How correct. How correct. Fluency is how good, how fast, how understandable your language is. Accuracy, how correct the grammar is. So we try to balance fluency and accuracy. We don't focus on fluency, only fluency. The most important thing is to just speak. Yes, this is important in basic levels, and students who are starting out, we try to encourage them to only speak, ignore mistakes, but we try to put a balance between the important mistakes and normal mistakes that can be a little bit ignored for that level. And then we try to put a little bit of focus on the accuracy to ensure that the students are talking clearly, understandably, and correctly. So we try to put a balance between fluency and accuracy. That means every time a student makes a mistake, should we talk about it? No. Let them make these mistakes. Should we stay silent on every single mistake that the students make? Also no. We fix some mistakes and we might ignore some mistakes, depending on the error correction idea, which we will talk about it in another topic. So you have a whole topic for error correction and how we correct errors. So these are the core principles. Let's just review them really, really fast. Okay, can you see by any chance? Huh? You can? Really clearly? MashaAllah. And you? MashaAllah, you can. So, can Hello everyone, and welcome back. to the one and only workshop that you need to start teaching English. The workshop that will show you every single thing that you will ever need to be a professional teacher. Don't use it. Okay, in the previous section of the workshop, we talked about the concepts, ideas, and approach, the CLT approach. But now, we're gonna take this into the real lesson. How to take the CLT and how to take all the things that we talked about earlier into the lesson. How to apply everything, like really apply everything. So, here comes the question, how? The question starts, the class starts with a warm-up and review. Review of the previous lesson content and a warm-up to start to engage the students. Because, you know, like the students, when they start to come, they just sit down and they don't want to do anything. But we usually start with a game, like stand up, the cups thing, and any other movement to get them involved and engaged into the lesson. So we start with the warm-up and review, and then we come to the big deal, or to the real strategy, the PPP. What is this?
Presentation, practice, and production.
Yeah, presentation, practice, prediction. That's very good. How to do them and how to include the CLT, the communicative teaching, with PPP, and how to make everything comes together. We'll know more about it now. Now let's talk about the PPP. The PPP, as you said, it's presentation, practice, production. Very good. Now let's talk about PPP applications. What is the presentation and how to make it? What is the practice and how to make it? And what is the production and how to make it? Okay, let's start with the presentation. What is the presentation? And how do you think, how do we make the presentation stage? Try to discuss it with your friends only for 30 seconds, and then we're gonna reveal that.
It's up to her, okay?
Yeah, okay. By the way, you're not in the middle of the class.
I'm in front of her.
Look, the window is reflecting. The board isn't clear.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If I close, it's going to be clear, but if it's clear.
My face will be clear. Sort of.
But they don't know that they are when they come to the lesson, they have practice, they have information. So the rest of the month,
You can commence with a sentence, or a question, or a small story.
And then, good. This is the start of the presentation. And then,
It will be like the term of the teacher, and you must make line between you and between the students. For example, you are there, you must make line. You can't move from it while present your presentation. It can be a short story about the topic, like present small topic. It depends on the grammar that they will take it.
and then,
After that, you can present your lesson.
how?
Let them discuss first of all, then ask one of the group. So what do you think? What's the experience?
And then, give them?
Give them a topic that they will discuss about and like
That they will what?
discuss about
Huh.
or talk about and get engaged inside it. And they will know that they will take this topic as the lesson of today itself.
And then, when you give them the topic,
And then explaining when we start explaining.
how do you explain?
When we start in the practice.
In the practice. Explain. Good. In the
board, I will write, for example,
Uh-huh.
we'll talk about the past simple. I will ask them, what did you do yesterday? They will
Uh-huh.
speak. Then I will tell them today we will explain we will have a lesson of past simple.
Mhm.
I will write.
Mhm.
I will divide the board.
very good. That is very good. Okay. So, I mean, I like your answers because they are really, really accurate and so close to the correct answer, which is the first one. We start with something called lead-in. The lead-in is the thing that you said. Maybe a story, maybe a question, maybe something that makes the students curious and want to learn more about the topic. Maybe, as Mr. Tuji said, you present a topic that the students don't know, and actually you're presenting the lesson itself, but you're trying to make things interesting. So this is the lead-in. You start to take the students with you into the lesson. For example, you're talking about the past simple, you start with a short story about the past simple. Or you start with a question, you start with something to get the students in. And after that, we pre-teach new words, especially if there are a lot of new words. We need to pre-teach new words. Why is that? Because while you are explaining, it has never been good to be asked by everyone what is the meaning of that word. It's not good at all. For example, you started to explain and you didn't pre-teach the new words. Kauthar is asking, yeah, it means blah, blah. He's asking, yeah, it means blah, blah, blah. And then I go back and I want to continue explaining, teacher, what is the meaning of? And then you are confused between explaining the lesson and showing them the concepts and trying to clarify what's going on, and between answering their vocabulary questions because they don't know what you're talking about. For example, you're talking about, let's say, we're taking past simple as an example. This is the first time to study past simple, and you wrote the word yesterday. You can never explain the lesson unless you first teach the students what is the meaning of yesterday, because you will use this word a lot. So you need to start showing the students the new words that you will be using in the lesson in order to make the explanation and in order to make their practice and production easier than every couple of minutes or every couple of seconds a student is asking you. And then we have elicit and notice. Elicit, which means excite. Notice, which means observe. Elicit what exactly? Elicit, we mean by elicit, we don't just take the information and throw it at the students, because you remember, we don't want the students to be passive listeners. We want them to be active participants, to be active communicators. So, for example, I have shown you the new words. For example, yesterday, we have today and we have yesterday. For example, today is Thursday. Today is Thursday. Yesterday was Wednesday. By the way, they study days of the week in Access. So when they go to Ventures, they know what you're talking about. When you explain it this way, they will get it directly. What day is today? They will say Thursday. Okay, what day is yesterday? Yesterday was Wednesday. Now all of them will know what is the meaning of what yesterday. Yeah, yesterday, Wednesday. Tomorrow, Friday. Now, tomorrow is a word that they don't need in this lesson, but why did I introduce it? Just to make a comparison, to make contrasts between yesterday and tomorrow, to clarify more. We have today, we have yesterday, Wednesday, we have tomorrow, Friday. Now, the students got the word. Now you can give them the example. For example, yesterday, I cooked dinner. They know the word dinner before. And they know I. And they know cook, because they studied all of this in Access. But They don't know what's going on with the ED. Now the elicitation, the illicit thing. I write the example and I tell the students, what do you see? Tell your friend about it. And now we make the students try to see what's going on with the sentence. They will see the word yesterday. Yesterday, yeah, the teacher just said yesterday means Wednesday, which is the previous day. And I know cooked. I think I know this word, but I'm not sure. I mean, it's similar to another word that I know. Dinner, yeah, dinner is obvious. So cook is the word that I know, but what's going on with the ED? And now you have created the perfect information gap in history, which is you have a lot of things that the students know, and you have here one thing that the students don't know. The students know everything in the sentence and they don't know what's the ED. Now, they are going to be excited to know what's this, and they are going to discuss with each other what is this. And most of the times, you will have a student who is really nerd and likes to study a lot, and they will know that this is ED means past, because they watch a lot of online tutorials and read a lot of books, and they were hardworking in school. They will say, this is past, like it's so simple. Like, they will tell their classmates. And by that, students will start to know what are you studying, and they will start to know the grammar without the teacher explaining at all. So you only started with a lead-in, you pre-taught the new words, and then you wrote an example that the students are familiar with. And you only used the new part of the grammar. This is the only new part in the sentence, which is the thing that the students don't know. Everything else in the sentence, everything is something that the students are familiar with. And now you're gonna make the students curious. Now, you're gonna tell them, what do you observe? Now, after you elicit and you notice, you try to elicit, and they're discussing with each other. You try to move around, you try to listen, you see what is going on, what are they saying. And then you can, after that, take the answers of students, and at the end, after they have tried to discover the lesson, you do the clarification. This is at the end. At the end. You do the clarification. Now you explain. Now you talk. Now, as you can notice, the teacher didn't talk much here. The teacher only gave an example at the beginning, taught them the new words, and then gave them an example and let them speak. Ask them, what is this? And then they speak. Ask them, what do you see here? Why is this here? Do you think this has something to do with this? And even if they don't understand what you're saying, because they study the first past symbol in Ventures 1B. Maybe they will not be able to understand everything that you say, but your body language and pointing and everything will make sense. Now when you say, does this ED has anything to do with yesterday? Now, they will try to, link between these two together. Like yesterday and cooked. Like there is a relationship between them both. And then at the end, you clarify, you give them the final observation, or the final information, which is yesterday I cooked dinner. Why cooked? Because it happened yesterday, it's past. Now, as you can notice here, when I explained the lesson, I didn't focus on the rule, but I focused on using it through examples. Did I tell them this is subject and this is verb and this is ED and this is complement? Did I tell them that this is a key word? I didn't do any of that. and yet they understood everything. By them being elicited, by me noticing them, and then by me at the end clarifying.
When I clarify, I will write everything like subject.
No, it's not necessary to write everything. It's not necessary at all to write subject, verb, ing. We always rely on examples. We rely on examples because imagine that you teach students in this way. You teach the students using an example. And you teach the students using a structure. Let's say you wrote here, and instead of writing the example, you wrote keyword, comma, subject, plus verb, to, plus complement. Hi.
You want me?
Thank you so much. The flash drive, do you have the flash drive?
Yeah, it's okay.
Thank you so much. Appreciate it. After that, you will have Mr. Bashar. He has something to say.
No.
Huh?
Yeah. For the quiz, you mean?
Yeah, how are the PBT grades?
I got taken to the hospital today morning.
You were taken to the hospital. What happened?
What is Juman? I asked Juman. What is Abir? Read. What is Noor? La ilaha illallah.
La ilaha
La
illallah.
ilaha illallah. But guys, you did cool though. You did well.
Hey, as the first PBT test in their life,
They did cool.
how was that?
They did real cool.
Alhamdulillah. Hey, more than they have?
Yeah, all of them are great.
خلاص good. More than they have. If it is more than they have, we are on the...
I've told you, wallah, the last 45 questions, I didn't really have them at all. I didn't even read them, wallah.
We just
So now, next time, you have a better idea how they manage time in TOEFL and how fast they read. By the way, I mean, when we take the TOEFL test and we read a question that we actually don't understand, we never think about it. We just skip and go to the next question because there is no time to think about it.
That's what I told him yesterday. Do not read it. Do not spend too much time on one question. Move on.
Thanks. Anyways, by the way, I mean, I promise that quiz 2 will be much better. Not because it's easier, it's not easier, it's the same difficulty, same vocabulary, same everything, but you have done it before.
You know, teacher, wallah, it wasn't that difficult. But we didn't manage the term well.
By the way, most of people who go to the TOEFL test, they get bad grades because of time management. It's not about knowledge, most of the times. Because the TOEFL tests how good you use the language. Can you use the language like your real language? Because if you think a lot, that means you're not good at the language. But if you think fast, you're really good at the language. So they make the time really tight, little time, so that you can try to answer faster than you think. You try to answer like normally, like it's your language. And this is the thing that you get trained to do.
More than 5. Wallah.
What?
We get more than 5.
Yeah.
Basketball.
By the way, the mark will not be 5. The mark will be like, I think 600 something. 600 plus something or 600. This is the mark of TOEFL like this, the PBT. And the IBT will be 120. Yeah. So this is the PBT, this is the IBT, the full mark. So yeah, I mean, you did great. By the way, if you at the end of the level 6, if you can score more, I mean 500 or more, that's it. You are ready 100% to be a teacher. If you score 500 and more. And inshallah, you will do it by better techniques at time management. We will, I mean, Mr. Bashar, he will talk to you about techniques in time management. Like he will teach you everything about time management, how to manage your time, how to give each question like specific seconds. If you could answer it, you answer it. If you cannot answer it, you just skip it. And that's it, you just move on. Let's go back to our topic. So now, imagine, as I told you, you are explaining the same lesson in these two ways. The first one, yesterday I cooked dinner. The second way, you are explaining the rule. Keyword, comma, subject, plus verb to, plus complement. Now, imagine the student is using this. The student is talking. The student is telling a story. Which one is easier for the student to remember and to make another sentence out of? Is it yesterday I cooked dinner or keyword, subject, verb to, complement? Yeah, it feels like math.
Even this teacher didn't know what's the meaning of verb, didn't know the meaning of subject.
This complicates things more. Even teachers, sometimes when you go and you ask teachers about specific grammar, the first thing you hear them say is an example of that grammar. Did you notice that before? All the time, when you ask a teacher about a specific grammar, you directly listen to them repeating an example. Why? Because they are trying to remember how this grammar works. They don't say subject, verb, complement. They don't say that. They start to remember a real example. Because when you have a real example, it's much easier for you to change the words into other words that you can use in your speech. For example, yesterday I cooked dinner. Now it is very clear for the student. Yeah, yesterday I cooked dinner. Now give me an example about yourself. Now the student is going to change the verb and complement. Yesterday I played football, played soccer. Yeah, he did it. He did it easily. But when you teach them using this way, now first they're gonna think about the keyword. What are the keywords? And now think about the keywords and then remembering the keywords and then coming up with the keywords. And then subject. Where is the subject? And then think about the subject and bring the subject. But when they memorize the example, it's much easier for them to grab and talk about directly. Okay? After you clarify, now you will tell me, Teacher Ali, we understand, yeah, we know, but are the students did they understand really well? Because until now, the teacher didn't explain well. The teacher only gave them an example, elicited them, made them try to discover, and then clarified, not explained, just clarified some points. Now, did the students really understand? How to make sure that they understood? We call this the magic tool. The magic tool of understanding. What do we call it? It's a magic tool, but I think there is a name for it, right? The magic stick. Yeah, thank you so much. Thank you so much. The magic stick. This CCQ feels like a magic stick that you can take and hit the student, and you will see inside their mind, did they really understand or not? Okay? You will take a CCQ and bam, and you will see, did the student understand or not? It's a real magic stick, real magic stick. How? For example, the CCQ, it means concept, check, questions. Concept means idea or understanding. Check, check. Questions. Concept, check, questions. Now, can you close the window, please? Now you just start to ask the students questions about their understanding for the topic. If they answer the questions, that means you have successfully explained. If they couldn't answer the questions, that means you need to re-clarify again. You need to clarify again. For example, you can ask the students, after clarifying, you can tell them, do I say, yesterday I cooked dinner or I cooked dinner? It is very clear. And then they will answer, cook or cooked. And then they will ask, they will answer, cooked. You will say, I cooked dinner today or yesterday? They will say, teacher, yesterday. And now you make sure that they really understood. But CCQs must be individually, must be asked individually. How? For example, now I'm explaining, from my observation, I think that this student didn't understand because I see a question mark, a big question mark above her head. So what should I do? I ask her directly. Do we say, yesterday I cooked dinner or today I cooked dinner? No, I just ask her directly. And I just wait for the answer. I don't say hurry up. I don't threaten, I don't do anything, I just wait. And see. Good. And now I make sure that she understood. Other students, I see, yeah, good. She understood, yeah, good. I want to make sure. I see another student with a big question mark. I want to understand. Yesterday I cooked dinner or I cooked dinner? Good, very good. So you ask 3 to 4 to whatever the number is, but don't make it a lot of students. You just ask the students that you want to make sure that they understood. And you know that others understood through your observation and through your notice while they are discussing. And by that, you have explained the way, you have explained the grammar or the lesson in a way that the students are engaged with you and they're talking with each other. They're talking with each other throughout the lesson and in a very communicative way. Good? This is the presentation. That's a lot to remember, right? That's a lot to remember. After presentation, now practice. Now again, in groups, you have 30 seconds. Talk about what is happening in the practice stage. What's going on? What do we do?
You're here, is it okay? You are here.
Yeah. Okay, class?
Yes.
Now, the presentation stage, the first P, which is presentation. The presentation is when the teacher is actually explaining what's going on, right? Now, the second one, which is the practice. The practice is when students practice the thing that they understood during the presentation stage. They practice it. And how do they practice it? They practice it in a controlled environment. Controlled environment. What is the meaning of controlled environment? That means specific questions that have only true or false answer. We call this controlled practice. Yeah, now you're okay. Yeah.
how many teachers do you have like that? You have only one that you have, and the students have this one. Yeah, this one. Sometimes the students.
What is number one?
Learning is not communication.
It's for communication, not what? Not memorizing. Okay, another one? Yes, the class must be student-centered. What else? Use authentic materials. Okay.
Pilots fluently, efficiently, and accuracy.
And the last one, what are the tasks that we should focus on? Yeah, what? Encourage the students on what? Yes? Group work, role play, problem solving. Very good. Now let's talk about real examples of the CLT. Examples of CLT activities. Number one, which we talked about earlier, role plays. For example, ordering in a restaurant or job interview. For example, 2 students or more than 2, 3, 4, they're making an interview, ordering from a restaurant. As I told you, shopping, finding something on the street, role play. And then we have information gap. What is this? Students exchange missing info. Do you remember the activity that Mr. Amr conducted with you when you were level 5B? When you had numbers and letters and their words? And you were going to finish them? Yeah. One student has information and the other student has information. And they must communicate and speak in order to tell each other what are the missing information. This is the information gap. So a student knows something and another student knows another thing. And they must communicate in order to finish the activity. This is the kind of, this is the meaning of information gap. And then we have discussions and debates. This is really obvious and you know it, which is we share opinions on a topic. Okay? And we have number 4, the projects. For example, create a class podcast, brochure or presentation. The projects that we, for example, try to do here, we have the term character. Term character is a project that we do in the institute. The events that we make are also projects that we make, we let the students to work on. And then, last thing, which is storytelling. Students narrate experiences or create stories. This happens a lot. We elicit and excite the students to speak about stories or to imagine stories sometimes. One of the worst students, when a teacher goes to a student and say, "Can you tell us what happened with you yesterday?" And the student say, "Nothing." I know it's nothing, but we need to practice. And now you are becoming teachers, you will hate this kind of student too. Huh? Yeah, like to talk. And then you tell the students, okay, just imagine. They say, "Teacher, I cannot imagine." Like, yeah, I mean, that's, yeah. That's very, 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 very common. It happens a lot. It happens a lot. Okay. And last activity, where are we? And last one, which is number 6, grouping. Just the regular activity that is the easiest and the most basic. Which is orienting students in groups and rotating them almost every stage. Stand up, rotate, this kind of activity. This is another example of CLT activities. Okay, now we want to make a comparison between the CLT and other ways of teaching, because you need to have information about this. Do you see this big schedule? I'll read it for you because it's really, really big. Okay. Can you see? Can you see the laser? The laser, yeah, this is the most important. So here we have the approach, which is the way of teaching. We have here grammar translation. This is the name of the method, or the name of the approach, grammar translation. And we have audiolingual, and we have direct method, and we have CLT. Okay? The most common approach that is used in schools and in traditional learning, the most used one is the grammar translation. They rely on rules, grammar, and translation, translating the words. And if we have grammar, they study subject, verb, object. They study the structures and the rules themselves. So here, let's see the focus. For example, the grammar translation, its focus is on grammar rules and translation. The audiolingual, its focus is on repetition, drills, and dialogues. This is like the speaking classes. The direct method, which is speaking only in English. In institutes, we mix between the direct method and the CLT. Teachers try to only speak in English. And the CLT, which is communication on real life context. That's the one that we're talking about. Now let's see the teacher role. What is the job of a teacher if you use different approaches? In the grammar translation, the teacher is knowledge giver. The teacher is only giving knowledge. Information, 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 information. And here, in the audiolingual method or approach, the teacher's role is drill leader. He just says something and the students repeat it back. And then the direct method, conversation partner. The teacher is a conversation partner. They keep practicing with the teacher. But here in the CLT, the teacher is facilitator. What is a facilitator? Helper. Person who helps. And he is a coach. He shows you how to deal with the language. And here, what is the job of the student? What is the student's role? In the grammar translation, the student is a passive receiver. Just sit down, listen. Sit down and listen. Do absolutely nothing rather than sit down and listen. And then we have, in the audiolingual, the student is a repeater. The student only repeats what is being said. That's it. And in the direct method, the student is an active participant because he keeps practicing with the teacher. And lastly, the student role in the CLT, that the student is an active communicator. Now let's talk about the strengths and weaknesses of each approach. For example, the grammar translation, its strength is strong grammar foundation, but weak speaking and listening, because they didn't focus on speaking and listening. The audiolingual builds pronunciation and patterns, but boring, and there is so little creativity. And then the direct method, it improves fluency and vocabulary, but hard for beginners. And there is no level 1 support, because it's only like in English. And the last one, which is the CLT, real fluency, confidence, and motivation, but needs trained teachers and planning. So if the planning is well done and the teacher is well trained, the CLT will be the best approach. Okay? 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 Huh?
Can
Yeah?
I take a picture?
What?
Picture like that. My hand.
Yeah, sure. Yes, you can. Now we're talking about the benefits of CLT for students. Okay, from all the information that we've discussed now and all the information that you've heard, what do you think? What may the benefits be for students in the CLT? Like, try to discuss it with your friends, with your partners.
You'll be actually speaking, and plus it will be like benefits for speaking and then listening, because you will be communication with the teacher and he will do something.
That's the European role.
encouragement to participate with friends and with the teacher, like feeling shy.
In the participation, they will participate.
Number one, speak more confidently in English. This is the first benefit, for sure. And I heard some of you saying it. Number two, which is practice real communication instead of only rules. Also, become an active learner. Students can become active learners instead of passive listeners. They only just sit down and listen. And number four, which is develop teamwork and problem-solving skills. So these are the benefits for students. Let's come to the benefits of CLT for teachers. Do we have benefits for teachers? Yes. Can you think about them again?
I'm surprised. That one, I didn't know this. What you told me.
To be only by giving instruction. Only by the student habits.
Also, when the teacher has excellent practice, one person it will be easy for the teacher to practice. Yes, you mentioned that he is a teacher as a student to learn it.
What do you think? What are the benefits for teachers?
For example, when I do a group and we will discuss together,
Uh-huh.
when the student has an idea, he will share it with her friends. While I'm explaining, I will not feel like more, it will not be hard. They share their ideas.
Yeah, that's good. Huh? And you?
The same idea.
What?
It's going to be to make the grammar, the lesson easier for the teacher how to explain it the way. Make it.
Is it easier?
It makes the lesson easier.
For the teacher?
Explained.
If you planned?
Yes.
Okay. So one of the most important benefits is engaging classrooms. You as a teacher, you will have better classrooms. Your classroom will be engaged. Your classroom will be active. You will make a great impact in the classroom. And number two, easier classroom management. The management will be easier and students are active. And number three, builds strong teacher and student relationship. And enhances teachers' professional image. Because if you teach using the CLT approach, the outcomes, the students who are graduating from your class will have a big influence. They will have a real effect in their language and in their life. And this will reflect your reputation and will reflect your professional image. Everyone will know that this is a good teacher. When I studied with that teacher, I felt like my language has changed. So this is also a very, very, very important one, which is it enhances teachers' professional image. There is a big problem that happens with a lot of teachers who start teaching English. They start teaching English without paying a lot of attention to the methodologies, to the approaches and strategies. And then they spend years, sometimes not only years, they spend tens of years. And they don't practice, they don't try to improve their approaches, they don't try to see what are the best approaches and what are the best strategies for teaching English. And so they start to fall behind. They start to be ignored. They start to have little value of professionalism. Other institutes or other teachers start to see them as not professional. Even if you have tens of years of experience, if you have the wrong idea from the beginning, your years of experience will add nothing because you have been building on a wrong thing. But if you start learning the right way and then you start building your experience on the right approaches, then your experience will benefit you and will be something good for you and will reflect on your overall professional image. Okay? Keep improving yourself. Swear. Huh. Okay. Now we're talking about some challenges of CLT and solutions. I mean, as I told you before, one of the biggest challenges for some students when they come and they start studying in Access, that big problem that happens with me every single term. So what other challenges that you think, what are the challenges that emerge? What are the challenges that students come with, or even teachers, or whatever they are? Just try to think about them for 1 minute. What are the challenges that you will face if you apply the CLT?
I feel like those kind of students so dumb. Other students that have no passion. Those students who came from their parents, they don't want to study. They just come to finish the 2 hours or they want them. So this will be a very challenge and very hard challenge for the teacher. Because like if you want the student to do everything and instruct him to do it, he may work, yet not in the good way that the teacher imagined. Yeah. If he didn't do it, or the other choice, he will not do it. We have to do very serious. I will not. Very hard.
Okay, hey, first problem, shy students. How? This is a big problem because we're teaching English communicatively. We want them to speak, we want them to participate, and we have shy students. How do we do this? How?
Ask them.
Show them that there is nothing to fear.
They're not afraid, they're shy.
Being
Huh?
shy.
Like, ask them, try to ask them several times and guide them with the groups, support them.
Okay, that's really good. The best way to deal with shy students is to start with pair work before big groups. I'll give you an example. Now imagine we have here Sarah. We will try to use fake names, okay, not real names. We have here Sarah. Sarah is a very, 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 very shy student, okay? Now she came into my class. In my class, everyone must speak, but I am a professional teacher. I see that she's shy, so I will not force her into speaking. I see that Sarah asked her friend next to her. She asked her a question. Now, through my observation, I can know that Sarah has a little less shyness with her friend that is next to her because she asked her a question. Okay? So now as a teacher, I can identify relationships among students. Now her friend, her name is, what's her name? Alia. Okay. Now her friend, Alia, I want to support Sarah. How am I going to support Sarah without showing her that I'm actually supporting her? I will start my activity through pair work. I will not make it groups. Okay, pairs, you two together, two together, two together, two together, two together, two together. Now, read the question and answer the question with your friend. Is she going to feel shy of her friend? No, that's not gonna happen. That's not gonna happen. She's gonna speak. When she's gonna speak, teacher will move around. Teacher will encourage. The student will feel more comfortable with the teacher. Okay? The students will feel more comfortable with the teacher. So they start with the pair work. After having some activities in pair work, we start to make them into a group and to include their friends. For example, now we have Sarah and Alia. Now we will make it a group work. We will add their little sister. Her name is Khadija. Okay. Now they are 3 together. Now Sarah feels good because the teacher actually embraced her. The teacher told her that she did a great job while he was listening. This is number 1. Number 2, she feels safe because her friend is with her. Number 3, there is only one strange person, and that person is also like, this person seems a little bit friendly, like I will not feel shy. And gradually, we can take this shy student out of their comfort zone. So we start with pair work before moving to big groups. Another challenge, large classes, and I'm talking about large, like more than 25, near 30, or more than 30. The best one, which is use group leaders or peer monitoring. What is this? Group leaders, this is clear. We have groups, and each group has a leader. This is the first way that we can manage big classes. The second one, which is peer monitoring. Peer monitoring means that each student is correcting for the other student, and each one is watching the other one. This also helps the teacher and reduces the amount of stress. The best one and most effective is the group leader thing, because they are divided into groups and each group has a leader. So the teacher only checks the leader. For example, here we have the leader here, and here we have the leader here. I will come here. Have you done the exercise? She will say yes. I get. I will not check everyone. She's going to check for everyone. And then I come here. Have you done? He will tell me yes. And I will not check for everyone. He will do that. And at the same time, when you do this, you need to try to balance how you choose the leaders in order not to make bad relationships between students. Because, for example, you're choosing the leader all the times, and it's the same leader, students will start to feel like, why? Yeah, like, why? Okay. Another challenge, teacher and familiarity. When the teacher is unfamiliar with the CLT thing. When the teacher is not familiar with how to teach students using the CLT. This is also another challenge, but now you are actually overcoming this obstacle through regular workshops and sharing experiences. The regular workshops are the workshops that I conduct, and sharing experiences is the experiences that you take every day from the teachers, or the feedback that you get from the teachers. And the last one, which is limited resources. Sometimes we don't have enough materials to provide the students. We can use free ones like YouTube or news sites. At the end of the workshop, I will give you the best websites and the best resources for you to start to get a lot of resources, to start getting a lot of worksheets, to get whatever you want. So the last one is a big challenge, but don't worry, I'll provide you with everything you need. In conclusion, CLT is not just a method. It's not a method. It's not an approach. It is a mindset for the teacher. How do you think about the lesson? Number two, as teachers, focus on real communication. And number three, they're gonna take. Okay? Okay, after the ICQ, what do we do? Now we have made sure that everyone understood. What should we do? Yeah, let them answer. Yeah. Give them time and let them answer. For example, start. You have 1 minute, start answering. And then they will start answering. After they start answering, you can let them rotate or change books or whatever, and then check the answers. Check the answers with each other. After that, compare the answers with each other. After that, you can display the correct answer for them to check. Okay? And after checking the answer, what do we do? Yeah, done. There is nothing. We've done. Okay? Now we have come to the last P. Presentation, practice, production. Now let's come to production. We said that presentation is about understanding, right? Understand. Practice is about what? Controlled activity or exercise. And now production, free, yes. Free exercise or free practice. Because now the students are not linked to a specific question that they're gonna answer. The students must produce language. What does it mean to produce? Make. They're going to make the language. Right? They're going to make the language. They're not going to see a question and answer it and just tell you whether it's correct or not, just match. They're going to use everything that you've been talking about. Now the production stage. If you do a perfect presentation and if you do a perfect practice stage and you don't do a good production, I'm telling you from now, your lesson has failed. Completely failed. Because you will go back to the first point, which is students cannot use the language. Students cannot use the language. Even if you do the best activities, even if you make the students laugh, even if you have the best way of presenting, drawing like me, writing examples, why you're laughing? I like my drawing. Alhamdulillah. Confidence is 1 million. Do you want some confidence? Let's go back. So if the production wasn't good enough, the whole lesson will collapse and students are not using the material. وعليكم السلام ورحمة الله وبركاته. أهلا وسهلا.
خلصت.
باقي قليلة. ده احنا في الأخير. تمام حاضر. Okay. So if the production wasn't good enough, as I told you, everything will collapse and the lesson will fail because students are not using the language. So how to make them use the language effectively? We have a nice rule which is called think, pair, and share. Yes. You're gonna tell them now to give you examples or produce stories or give real things about the topic itself. And first, like for example, we're talking about past, okay? Think about what's happened with you yesterday and tell your friends, okay? Now first you're gonna think and then you're gonna pair with your classmates, you're gonna tell them, and then I am gonna tell you to, okay, tell us your story, and you tell us your story, and you tell us your story. You don't have to listen to all students. Just choose some specific students. Again, just to make sure that they understood. After they share their answers and after you listen to them, last thing, you try to reinforce. Sometimes it happens with some students that even at the end of the lesson, they actually cannot use the grammar well, or they're not applying the things that we actually studied. So you try to let them speak because we encourage fluency, but at the end, when they finish, you tell them, okay, you did a great job, but can you please do it again? But try to focus on the ED. For example, they forget every ED in the sentence, in their sentences. Okay, can you please just do it again and remember the ED? That's the reinforcement. You're trying to take the attention of the students back again to the grammar. Because sometimes it happens like when they start sharing their answers, they start to feel afraid, nervous, and a little bit shy, and whatever the emotions are. Then you start to grab their attention back to the grammar, like focus on the grammar, try to apply the grammar, try to produce language using the grammar. Okay? And finally, we have done with the first workshop for you. It was a really detailed analysis into the teaching and the teaching process. You've learned from the beginning of how to think about English, the mindset of English, how to see the lessons, how to observe the lessons, how to think about the lessons, and how to think about students, and how to think about the whole process of planning your lesson. We've talked about how to take that into real application, which is the PPP, what are the actions of every single step? What are the exact things that you will do as a teacher? At the end, as I told you, resources are a big problem for a lot of teachers. So here, I am giving you the best 17 websites and apps and channels that you can use to find stuff about English, to find materials, to find videos for your students, to find worksheets, games, and everything. you can take a picture of these because they are really, really, really special. There are 17 websites. 18. I'm sorry. Why do I keep saying 17? Whatever, 18. Thank you for correction. 18. There are 18 websites and channels and everything. If you want worksheets, games, ideas, information about teaching, anything you want, you just go here and search. You don't go to YouTube, you go here to these specific places. Take a picture of them. Today at home, I want you to remind me to send you this, the PowerPoint. I will give you all of this, the PowerPoint. You will receive it tonight, inshallah. Just send me a message on WhatsApp. And inshallah, the next workshop will be about how to teach. Now I gave you the general idea how to teach English. Next workshop will be about how to teach specific lessons. For example, how to teach the listening. How to make students understand listening. Not just understand listening, how to make the students good at listening. How to teach listening. And how to teach reading. How to teach grammar. How to teach every single part of a lesson. This will be our next workshop, how to teach the parts. Now, if you take this strategy and this approach and apply it on all the lessons, you will make a good lesson. But next workshop, it will not be good, it will be perfect. Okay? In our next workshop, we will have a real lesson. I will explain a lesson and I will show you how we apply everything. And we will talk more in details about all other parts of a lesson. Good luck. I hope that you learned something new today. And inshallah, see you on Saturday. Bye. Bruh. Did you see that person?
Yeah.
Who is he? See?